Out in that vast, ancient, tortured red landscape of Central Australia, a timeless place of legend and myth, a new hero has emerged.
It's a different world out here. When you get out on these tracks, it's just you and the machine, and you just trying to do what you can. Just want to go out there and go as fast as possible.
The ground is rough and the bike should be pitching and shuddering, but somehow he's floating above it all.
I know only time will tell if all the cards will treat me well.
His name is Toby Price. The best in Australia, the best in the world.
So now here I turn the page.
I'm just pretty much, born and bred country boy, and just chasing dreams, and that's come from riding a motorcycle at a young age. I've always just had ambitions to be #1 in the world.
Toby is a champion of a new tribe of the Never Never who've gathered here for the annual Finke Desert Race, a 452-kilometre round trip from Alice Springs to the tiny town of Finke, right in the middle of Australia. Each June long weekend, they race down one day, back the next. Flat out, no holds barred.
They come and race their vehicle, bikes, quads, anything. So it's to see them.
The quietest place on earth becomes the noisiest.
Pretty much, that's it. We come here and we shake the ground up.
To get a real feel for the speed that these blokes are moving at, you've got to get down on the track in a way that I probably wouldn't be allowed to do in the city. Toby's closing on me at speeds of up to 180 kilometres an hour. He'll be on me in seconds, which is hardly enough time to think about getting out of the way.
They're all out there. I think there's about 480 odd competitors in the bikes this year, and 479 of them all want to beat me. So
and they reckon it's like the Melbourne Cup, that an outsider can win.
I was an outsider once. I blew in 2010 and won on my first attempt.
Who is this kid?
Yeah, who is this guy? Who's this Toby Price guy that's come along and won this race?
Pauline, do you remember the first time he got on a bike?
Yeah, it was just out there in the yard, and he wanted to get on it, and about 4 crashes later. And then the bike went back in the shed. That was not a good thing.
Oh, you cracked it.
Yeah, I crashed it a little bit, yeah. So I was...
You kept falling off.
You gave it away?
I gave it away
for about 2 weeks. And then he went back out and said, get the bike out.
Then, according to Toby's parents, Pauline and John, he got on and never got off again. Toby proved to be a natural.
When he pulls his helmet on, I'm sure 2 little horns grow up in his head, and he's a totally different person on the bike. So, yeah.
The word soon spread about this young tearaway farm boy from Hillston, New South Wales, who won his first Australian title at the age of 7. But with the glory came the pain.
Oh, that was my Mother's Day present there.
2 broken arms. Mother's Day.
He went racing, and I got a phone call that he broke his arm. And then 20 minutes later, I got another phone call and said he broke the other arm as well. And that was Happy Mother's Day, Mum.
Yep.
2 broken arms on Mother's Day.
4 years later, he broke them again, but it was much worse. Toby almost lost his left arm. The scar is still brutal to look at.
My tally's not a real good one, but so I'm 28 with 27 broken bones. So I broke, worst one being the 3 vertebrae in my neck, which was back in 2013. That was, a bit of a close call.
That was a shocker.
That was a shocker, that one.
Only 3 years ago, Toby lay in an American hospital bed within millimetres of becoming quadriplegic, his head in a halo brace. The medical staff said they could fix Toby, but it would cost $500,000.
As soon as the insurance company said that they're not paying,
We don't want to know
We're not
yet.
paying. We don't want to know yet.
within 2 hours, we were kicked out of the hospital.
We're out. We were gone.
Yeah.
And
With
Toby
him in a wheelchair, in a halo.
in a halo
and
Hanging between quadriplegia and whatever.
yeah.
and whatever.
So Toby flew back to Australia and, thanks to Medicare, was operated on for free. 4 titanium screws were inserted on each side of his neck, along with 3 rods.
Yeah, so I'm fused from C5 through to T1 in my neck, and got these screws and rods in there. So it's, as I always kind of joked to everyone, yeah, my head's screwed on literally, and seem like I'm a bit of a smarter guy now, but.
Toby was the youngest of 3 kids in the Price household. There was also Matthew and Amanda, nicknamed Minnie. Minnie was born severely disabled, yet with loving care, managed to survive until 2011.
I miss her, and it's something that you don't and never even expected in life that she wouldn't be here now. And but for sure, it's definitely made me appreciate what we're doing. And I'm sure, like Mum and Dad say, she's there with me somewhere and looking after me. I'm pretty sure she was keeping me safe that time I broke my neck. So that's just the way you got to look at it.
Pauline, tragically, you know what it's like to lose a child. Does that make it harder to let him do this stuff?
Yeah, it does, but I think in Tobe's situation, that's all Tobe knows.
But nothing would slow him down, neither the loss of Minnie nor a broken neck. In January this year, Toby won the Dakar Rally, the unofficial world championship for off-road racing. He rode for 14 days, over 9,500 kilometres, to become the first non-European and the first Australian ever to claim it.
For me to come in and win it on my second go, I'm a very fast learner. I watch and learn very quickly, and if it's something that I'm interested in, I'll put 100% into it, everything I can to be successful at it.
Sadly, I don't have a lot of experience at winning. What's it like?
It's the best feeling ever. You, put it into words, it's just, once you get it once, you want more of it. So
You get greedy for victory.
a little bit, you can put it to something like that. You definitely get greedy for it.
So to the past week, and out in the Finke Desert, where men and women on 4 wheels and on 2 try to conquer the outback, and where the star attraction is Toby Price.
Trying to thing under it? Yeah. There we go.
Among the fans was 16-year-old Rosie Dray, the youngest female rider in this year's race. Is Toby Price a hero of yours?
Yeah, about 12 months ago he sent me a little video saying to get keen and get training for this.
Hey Rosie, hey, when you turn 16, make sure you come out here to the Finke race. We definitely want to see you come out and have a crack, so yeah, get ready for it, and we'll see you out here next year.
And that's pretty big. I mean, that's a world champion encouraging a kid on the way up.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could beat him one day?
Hell no.
There are favourites, but no guarantees in desert racing. More so this year because Toby was attempting the impossible, to win not only the bike leg, but the car division as well. Only 2 days from the race start, Toby is on a practice run in his so-called trophy truck, when disaster strikes. The rear suspension falls apart and Toby rolls 5 times. Still to come, as race day approaches, can the team resurrect the truck? Mate. That's next on 60 Minutes. Toby Price's truck has rolled at least 5 times. In the dust, it's impossible to count. People race to see whether Toby and his navigator, Kyle Fitzner, are okay. Amazingly, they're able to clamber out of the wreckage. Right, mate. But you're feeling all right?
Perfectly fine. That's the best thing about 4 wheels. You're strapped in. 2 wheels, I'd still be laying there. So I'd be probably waiting on a helicopter at that speed.
Well, what do you say? Lucky for me, I wasn't in the truck with him, but I was kitted up for Toby to take me on the next run. When did you know something wasn't right?
When I was laying on my side.
Great, that's that quick.
Headache. But
I think everyone's just happy you're all right.
I'm not worried about that. It's like I say, I don't mind bashing my body up. But I just don't like wrecking equipment.
Toby fears his dreams of winning the car category of the Finke Desert Race lie ruined in the dust. But the man who built the truck, American Rick Geiser, is far less pessimistic. Is it cactus now, or will you be able to put it back together?
No, we're going to go back to a workshop here in Alice Springs, and we're going to put it back together. It's not going to be the prettiest of the body parts on it, the panels, but mechanically wise, we'll get it back in where it's all ready to race again.
So he'd be able to race in this this weekend?
Yes, sir.
And with that, the wreck goes back to a workshop in Alice Springs, and the pit crew get cracking. Out here, the cars are as tough as the people. And incredibly, by the next morning, the trophy truck was ready to roll again. As good as new, Toby.
Pretty close.
Almost.
Almost. We've got a few little battle wounds on the car, but it's, look, for what it was yesterday, as you've seen, and now what it is now, the crew that I've got on board with this have done an amazing job.
The important thing is, does your mum know about this?
Unfortunately, Mum does know about this. They've surprised me and visited out here for the weekend and coming to watch all this. So it's, yeah, well, I'm sure Mum won't be watching today, though.
Will you be watching closely today?
Probably not, no.
I'll
I'll watch the start like I normally do, but after that I just don't
want to know.
No.
Steely, Tom, you better give him a cuddle.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
We get it going.
Okay.
Yep, will do.
Yeah, good
Have
luck,
fun?
buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. As I said, stay smooth and no sideways. That's
plenty
slow.
sideways.
Sideways
Right.
is slow.
Then Toby roars into the desert on the first leg down to Finke with 18 cars and 226 punishing kilometres ahead of him. On 4 wheels, he is classed as a rookie, but he sure as hell doesn't drive like one. Toby is like a man possessed, forcing his way up through the field, passing one, then another. In this racing, if the slower vehicle doesn't move over, you're allowed to deliver a none too subtle nudge. By the time this leg is finished, Toby will have overtaken 14 rivals. But when he gets to Finke, he has to run to catch a plane back to Alice to do it all over again on the bike. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. I need you to win, but I don't want you to take any risks.
We'll give her a go. Cheers, mate.
And then it's another hug from Mum and Dad before Toby heads back to the start line for the bike leg. At this stage of endurance, his stamina clearly shows that a great rider is also a great athlete. The man and his machine are at one with the desert, and Toby Price is a rider without peer. He travels so quickly, the helicopters have trouble catching him. In a little under 2 hours, he literally flies into Finke, 2.5 minutes clear of his nearest rival. The race is only half over, but for some, including young Rosie, it's already finished.
Well, about 15 k's in, I knocked myself out and it was a big crash, but I got up and kept on going. But then I had another crash near the 100k mark and it just brought me down. I just couldn't do it anymore.
How are you feeling now?
I'm very sore, but I'm fine.
But you'll be back.
Yeah, I'd love to come back and finish it one day.
And one day be the first girl to win.
Maybe.
The next day, on the return leg, Toby Price is roaring back along the Finke track towards Alice Springs in his trophy truck. He's blown a cylinder, but that doesn't stop him. He manages to finish in second place. But there is no time for celebration. Immediately, he's back on a plane for another trip down to Finke, now to jump on his bike. For Toby, this isn't exhausting, it's exhilarating.
For me, it is exhilarating, and it's like an addiction. All I want to do is every time I get on that bike and throw my leg over that bike, it's go as fast as I can. And I don't know, I always just had that bit of a theory that the faster I go, the quicker the event's done.
Like the desert legend he has become, there is no catching him now. Toby Price roars through the red dust of Central Australia and into the history books to become the Finke Desert Champion for a 5th time.
Big cuddle, mate. Top stuff, mate. It was a cuddle. You're a bloody champion, mate.
How proud are you?
I'm busting. I don't know how to explain it.
How much do you love him?
Yeah. Oh, well, as we say in our family, like with men, we also always say, love your face. So that says it everything. Yep.
And,
love his face.
Love his face, and he's absolutely phenomenal.
What do I say? You're terrific.
It's not too bad. Can't complain. It's been a good weekend.
Hello, I'm Charles Wooley. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.